Can you afford to downsize? What are the financial considerations of this last move? Here's Cabot Ray and the founder and CEO of DownSize LLC, Kathy Chiero.
As I move towards retirement, I know it's a blessing to be able to retire, but there are some definite issues, financial issues, that we need to face as we prepare to downsize our income and downsize our home. What are those?
Well, Cabot, when we downsize, and many times that does include a residence, 81% of people over the age of 55 own a home. So as a realtor, many times I get the question of, I have this equity in my home, what do I do with it? Should I get a mortgage when I buy again? Should I invest it and pay cash? What should I do? So that's some of the basic questions. But in addition to that, part of the downsizing question, as you said, many of us are not in the position that we stop working, our income stays the same.
Right.
And so how do we live on less? How do we maximize Social Security? How do we look at the investments we have and make sure they're going to carry us through the retirement years? At DownSize Columbus, we recognize that this is a big, big issue with our clients. And so what we do is we bring the experts in. We say we're going to bring people to you that this is what they do for a living, this is what they do well, is to make sure that your retirement is as comfortable as the days you were working.
Well, the housing market has moved up and down. We know that. We've been in a pretty good phase lately, but how do I know how much equity I actually have in my home, and should I be using that obviously towards the next place?
Well, one of the sad realities that we have to tell people is that that home they own, while they have lived in it and enjoyed it for 20 or 30 years and been paying down the principal on that, and many own their homes outright, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be able to move with that much money to your same standard of living. Building has gotten more expensive. The house that you're moving to might be, in terms of square footage, smaller, but it might cost twice as much. So again, one of the things you have to look at is, first of all, get a good comparable market analysis of your home. Get a realtor in there to say, if I sold my home today, what would I net from the sale after all the fees are? Get that number in place, and then you want to look at your assets as a whole. Can I afford to move forward and pay cash for a home? If I can't, what is the balance on that mortgage? How much of that mortgage can I afford, and even into retirement, that is not going to put me in a compromising position? That's just on the residential. And then there is a whole myriad of questions that has to do with Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. Again, these are mazes that are very, very difficult to maneuver through without expert advice. At DownSize Columbus, we bring the experts in to help you do that.
Oh boy, those are a lot of questions that can be overwhelming to people as they prepare to downsize. I think way back to the beginning when we were first looking at houses, FHA loans, balloon loans, fixed rate. What about for us more mature citizens? What's available to seniors? Loans, kind of loans.
Well, first of all, I will say that before I get to the answer to that question, we are fully aware that many seniors have been burned themselves or heard of their friends and family members burned by fraudulent loans targeted to seniors. Part of DownSize Columbus is we have invited the Attorney General from the state to come in to address fraud among seniors, because they are very likely to be targeted. They're the largest single group to be targeted. So outside of the fraudulent loans, there's legitimate good loans that were created just for people over 55 to help them use the equity in their home to buy more home than they thought they could. There are loans that allow you to essentially live off the equity in your home and not have to make another mortgage payment. The other thing we tell senior citizens too, or anyone over the 55 that is buying, is that there are pluses and minuses to having a mortgage at all. If you are fortunate to be in a position to buy a home cash, we have financial advisors who will look at that big picture and say, is that even something that you want to do? But yes, we are in a great position where there are some loans available only for people over the age of 55.
Okay, so outside of the last home, what are other financial issues that us retirees are facing?
Cabot, again, outside of purchasing a home, this is a good time where you should be reviewing other things, like for example, Social Security and Medicare. Hugely confusing and complex issues. At DownSize Columbus, we bring in experts that can help you with that. And then insurance, life insurance, medical insurance, homeowners, auto, all of that. This is a great time to review those because, again, your insurance needs at age 60 are not the same as your insurance needs at 40, and you might be spending money on insurance you don't need. You might need insurance you don't have. So this is a great time to get a hold of your insurance agent, and again, at DownSize Columbus, we have them there to come in and say, here's my portfolio. How can I best make use of the assets I have, keep what I have, extend what I have, and live comfortably into retirement?
Are you preparing to downsize? Visit our website at www.downsizecolumbus.com or call 614-944-5999 to register for our next seminar. That's downsizecolumbus.com.